Hey there, this video is a run through discussing the techniques I used to create the painting that I called Princess Guardian. The sketch that I did doesn't exactly represent the painting, but that's where the idea came from, and the goal was to show a lot of values receding where the darkest ones would be closest and the lightest ones would be further away. So step one is to create a anatomically tight drawing of the figures, transfer it to the canvas in pencil, and you can see here that I've used marker, waterproof marker, to begin to block in where the shadows will be. And here we are with more blacks put in place with acrylic. Some of the acrylic is a little watered down, and we're ready to throw some paint on top. I should also mention that Leonardo da Vinci always began with black, painting in a black shape, the idea being that nature, the universe, is basically black, and then light illuminates it. Here you see what the first layer of paint is done. This is a technique that is not like glazing. Glazing in oil tends to be transparent. This is acrylic, and so you can't really glaze with it, although they do sell glazing mediums for that. So what I call it, actually what it is called technically, is veiling. So you can see what's happened to the blacks here. They've gone to dark gray, so now there's no longer any black at all in the picture. Now this technique is part of what I plan to do from the beginning. And you can see here how adding a little true black on top of these grays really pops things out. So the idea is that the darker shadows on the foreground figure are going to make him appear closer. And then here we've further darkened things and taken some black back onto the girl, especially her hair, and used some white pencil and acrylic to create these sort of lens flare effects. I might also add here that I'm not painting on an easel, I'm painting flat on the floor, which actually helps technique which I call puddling. And here we're continuing to work things out, adding more white, adding this cloth, playing around with light effects, and just generally working the whole thing more. Part of me would actually like to leave it right here like this. Now I'm beginning to add color, yellow on the metal objects and flesh colors on the fellow, and also some rather subtle, cool highlights on the fella's armor, where this is light that's being reflected from the point of view of the observer. And now here we are, more or less completed. Colors in place. There was one thing I did additionally, which was to use spray paint with some stencils, basically small holes cut in paper, to make the light effects softer. So the sword, the helmet, other places like that would get a sort of a lens flare effect, or burnout, depending on what you call it. And here we are, and this is about how I wanted to leave it, where it's not too tight, not too finished, sort of like a paperback cover from the 1960s, acrylic or gouache or something like that, rather designed to be reduced down to a fairly small size.